Hearty greetings to the great minds and the dearest young minds. This is Shivkumar Bellan from Horoshole village, the Nilgiris. I am a scientific storyteller, brand strategist, career coach, author and an orator. First of all, thanks a million to Ooty Public School and Vibgyor Education for this great opportunity to speak to the young and beautiful minds of future India. The topic, interactive science learning, is the need of the hour for India to reach its aspirational growth in the next 25 years. I am glad UNESCO, Iybssd and many prestigious organizations have joined hands for this scientific extravaganza. The names of the chief guests and dignitaries itself spells success for the program even before it starts. I have a request for the beautiful minds and children over here. When children look up to great scientists, the way they do with film stars, sports icons and musicians, the civilization will jump to the next level. And that is how we can move from good to great. Children love magic, but they may not know how it works except the magician. But in the world of science, science is the magic that works wonders for all of us. I've noted some of the very key essential skills for future scientists with my interactions with thousands of scientists across India and abroad. The first skill, of course, is technical skills, or you call the IQ, where we learn about the who, what, when, where, which and how. The second important skill comes is thinking skills. Very seldom do we use our thinking brain in very critical work. So critical thinking and creative thinking becomes a very important skill for scientists. The third important skill is communication skills. Earlier we used to think communication is not required for scientists and people who are in research jobs. But today communication skills is very important to communicate your ideas and thoughts to the stakeholders and to make projects very viable. Of course, time management and stress management are both sides of the coin, and it plays a very important role in scientific discoveries as they are very, very expensive. Today is an era of teamwork and collaboration, so a scientist need to know about teamwork, leadership qualities. You should have great patience and research skills. Of course, there are a lot of adversities he will face in his journey. So you should have a great adversity quotient to predict problems in the scientific discovery. Above all, emotional intelligence or emotional quotient is going to be one of the very important skills for future professionals, as quoted in award-winning 21 Lessons for the 21st Century by Yuval Noah Harari. Let us hit the button on the thinking skills for a moment. Creativity in thinking plays a great role in learning. For example, when I used to learn about science, we all do have a pen in our pocket. So I thought, how do I remember an atom? So when I debrief the pen acronym, P stands for proton, E for electron, and N for neutron. Isn't it fun? So you young minds, you should bring a lot of creativity to learning, which will enhance this, not just your memory, but the fun of learning. I would like to share a very interesting story where most of you can connect, and it's a real story which happened to me. Because one day a dog was chasing me while I was back from my school. On the way back to my house, a very notorious dog was chasing me, and I was running faster than, you can say, Ben Johnson or P.T. Usha at almost close to 100 kilometers per hour, beating all world records, where the speed, velocity was amazing. And that's where I learned physics. And my breath can be heard a mile away. I started breathing faster and harder. And the heart rate shot up beyond 100. It's not a century in cricket. Mine, it's a heart rate. And I found out it is due to the secretions of the hormones like adrenaline. And this is nothing but the biology. And still the blood pressure shot up beyond 150 from the normal level of 120 millimeter mercury. And this is nothing but simple math. Suddenly I fell down on the road and I started bleeding. Very interestingly, you can learn about hemostasis. All the biochemistry came into the picture. The serotonin started releasing, and the ADP, the thromboxane A2, everything came together to form the platelet plug. And top of that, the fibrin. The inactive prothrombin got converted to active thrombin, and active thrombin converted the inactive fibrinogen to active fibrin. And when this, both the platelet plug and the fibrin fall, you form the blood clot. Isn't it interesting to learn this way like a story? Okay, now a little shift from science to math. I always used to curse maths during my school days. Little did I know it was such a beautiful subject later in my life. So I would like to remind you about the Archimedes quote. It says, mathematics reveals its secrets only to those who approach it with pure love for its own beauty. Little did I know about it. So I'm going to talk about a very interesting story about tea. Tea is my livelihood, being from the Nilgiris, and it is my economy. And very recently I met one of my school teachers in an alumni function at St. Joseph's Kono, and he happens to, Professor Haldurai, and he happens to tell the story to me. Shiva, mathematics is nothing but life. I said, come on sir, what do you say? He said, I'll teach you through making of tea. He said, first you take 100 ml of water. What is that? It's the volume in milliliters. Then you take 1 spoon of tea leaves. What is that? It's weight in grams. Then you put it in a vessel and boil it to 100 degrees. It's nothing but temperature in centigrades. You wait for 5 minutes, the time in minutes, and then you serve a hot cup of aromatic tea. Now how beautiful maths is to learn. It's so interlinked and connected with our own lives. So here I have a formula. This is called the balance formula for learning. So instead of all people having mobile, use a SIM card. So I'm going to give you a SAM card. What is that? S stands for science. A stands for arts. And M stands for maths. And when you put the equation, it gives you commerce. That is money. So economy is money. And money, the word money itself is within economy. So money improves the GDP of a country. How wonderful science when it marries arts and maths. So beautifully it generates commerce for the nation and for us. And my dear children, many times you will be studying very hard for your exams, and sometimes we do fail. But I would like to remind you a beautiful quote by Thomas Edison which reads, I have not failed, I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work. But I'm not telling you to fail and then again. So don't get the fear of failure. So everything in life is a lesson. So every failure is a lesson learned and the experience gathered which builds your wisdom. And a beautiful quote by Isaac Newton reads, "What we know is a drop, and what we don't know is an ocean." And my dear students, your quest for knowledge should not die and live with us until our last breath. Wishing you all good luck for a beautiful scientific session with the young and the great minds. Thank you so much.